The Bank of Canada just warned that prolonged U.S. tariffs could shrink our economy by 5% and push unemployment up. If you work in manufacturing, autos, resources, or agriculture, that is you. Here's the playbook. Costs. Tariffs on Canadian exports. Effects. Businesses cut investment. Layoffs ripple through the economy. The loonie weakens and your grocery bill goes up because we import a third of our food. It's a recession that hits your paycheck and your spending at the same time. I'm not going to fearmonger. I'm going to give you a concrete 5-step plan to make your finances tariff-proof. Whether you keep your job or not, your money survives. Let me make this local. If you're in Windsor or Oshawa, auto is your exposure. The big three all have Canadian plants that feed U.S. assembly lines. A 25% tariff on Canadian auto parts is not an abstraction. It's your plant slowing ships. If you're in Alberta, oil and gas is secondary exposure. The bigger hit is business investment drying up. When companies don't know what tariffs will look like in 6 months, they don't build, they don't hire, they wait. If you are in BC or Quebec, lumber and aluminum are directly targeted. These are sectors that were already squeezed post-COVID and are now facing a second hit. And if you're in Calgary, Edmonton, or any prairie city, even if your job isn't directly in a tariff-exposed sector, your local economy is. Less oil revenue means less government spending, fewer contracts, fewer customers for your small business. The point is, you don't have to work in a factory to feel this. You just have to live in Canada. 6 months of essential expenses, not gross income, just the must pays. Rent or mortgage, food, utilities, insurance, transport, minimum debt payments. Park it in a high interest savings account inside your TFSA. eqbank, Wealthsimple Cash, Tangerine. Anywhere paying 3 to 4% right now. If you can only build 3 months, start there. 3 is dramatically better than 1. Here's the practical version. Most people hear 6 months of savings and shut down because the number feels impossible. Let's make it concrete. First, calculate your actual essential number, not your take-home pay. Just rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, insurance, transit or car payment, and minimum debt payments. For most Canadians, that's somewhere between $2,500 and $4,500 a month. 6 times that is $15,000 to $27,000. That's your target. Second, set a 90-day sprint, not the full amount. Just 90 days of aggressive saving to get to 1 month or buffer. 1 month is enough to start, then you build. The account matters. Do not put this in a checking account earning 0.1%. eqbank savings account is paying around 3.5% with no fees. That's $525 a year on a $15,000, basically a free month of groceries just for using the right account. One more thing, this buffer goes inside your TFSA if you have room. Why? Because if you need to pull it out in an emergency, there's no tax hit, and the growth is tax-free while it sits there. Be honest with yourself. If your employer's biggest customers are American, you're a tariff exposed. Update your resume this month, not when the layoff email arrives. Apply to 2 jobs you don't need, just to test the market. If you're in a vulnerable sector, start a side income now while you still have a paycheck. Mortgage renewing, get a rate hold immediately. Auto insurance, shop it now while you still have employment income. Premiums are sometimes underwritten on it. Cell, internet, streaming, cut anything you wouldn't pay for if you were unemployed. You can always add it back. People see a recession headline. They sell at the bottom and miss the recovery. If you have a 10-year horizon, keep contributing. Recessions are when long-term wealth is built. You're buying the same companies on sale. If you're within 5 years of retirement, that's different. Shift your bond allocation up. Talk to a fee-only advisor. Let me give you the math that makes this concrete. In March 2020, the TSX dropped 37% in 5 weeks. If you sold in April, you lock in that loss. If you held, or better, kept buying, the TSX was fully recovered by November, 7 months. In 2008, the recovery took longer, about 3 years, but if you held an index ETF from the bottom of 2009, you tripled your money by 2014. The people who panic sell do two things wrong. They sell low, and then they wait for the right time to get back in, which means they also buy high. It's a double loss. The boring move? Keep your automatic contributions running and don't look at the balance. Has beaten the smart move in almost every documented recession. Boring wins. Employment income, 14 to 45 weeks depending on region. Apply the day you're laid off, not the week after. Mortgage deferral, most major banks will let you skip 1 to 4 payments. It hurts your interest, but it saves you from default. RRSP Lifelong Learning Plan if you need to retrain. It's a $20,000 tax-free withdrawal. Recessions aren't avoidable, but personal financial collapse is. The people who come out of 2026 stronger are the ones who got boring 6 months early. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell. The next video is the FHSA hack that could save first-time buyers $20,000 in tax. Comment your industry below. I'll do a deep dive on the most mentioned ones.